Mina, konbanwa, JesusFreakinGamer here. It's nighttime now, and we're gonna keep on going forward, and look at the weapons that this dude has.
Well, this is a most peculiar soul. Very good indeed.
That staff of his, though.
Unusual souls produce unusual spells.
Indeed they do, sir. Indeed
yeah,
they
something
do.
too. So, we're looking at all the weapons. Some of them also make spells.
I was about to ask, do some of these make fucking spells? And yes, they do. That's kind of crazy. Boss souls can create spells, pyromancies, and I'm sure a miracle
Miracles.
or two.
Yep.
I'm sure there's a miracle or two. So that is pretty crazy. Let's read this shit. So, and this is based on Mytha the Baneful Queen. So, Mytha's Bent Blade. Dagger forged from the soul of Mytha the Baneful Queen, coated with a potent poison. Mytha was the fairest queen in the land until something unhinged her. Was it the poison found deep within the earth, or the passion that consumed her heart? Pursuer's Ultra Greatsword. Oh shit. Oh shit.
I fucking love this thing.
Ultra Greatsword of the Pursuer. Known as the mightiest of the straight swords, it demands great strength and dexterity of its wielder. The Pursuer hunts down those branded by the curse, as if each undead soul that he claims will atone one of his sins. I was going to say, why does the Pursuer pursue? And why after defeating him the first time, all this black shit comes coming out of his armor? Like, he ain't what he was before. I smell bullshit. Warped Sword. This comes from the Flexile Sentry. I remember that shit now. A curved sword forged from the soul of the Flexile Sentry, once straight but later twisted to reflect its warped owner. More yawning.
The Sentry crammed inmates of the overflowing Bastille onto a rickety ship and then cast them out into the open sea.
The majority of them drowned or starved, but a few hardy survivors made land to the south and imparted their knowledge of sorcery to the people there. An arced sword.
Yeah,
from,
so go,
also
sorry,
from the
go back to
Flexile
the last
Sentry.
one. Look at that fucking scaling.
Very nice.
These Dex swords are pretty solid.
I noticed that Dex weapons in this game tend to scale a lot easier than weapons.
The strength ones, yeah.
Or what the heck am I saying? Than strength weapons. But apparently the Greatsword becomes an S when it's fully maxed out. So that's pretty damn good right there. So, onto the Arced Sword, a curved greatsword forged from the soul of the Flexile Sentry. There is something unsettling and at the same time beautiful about its long, curved blade. The Sentry crammed inmates of the overflowing blah blah blah. Giant Stone Axe. Great axe forged from the last giant's soul. This weapon resembles a primitive stone tool but is quite powerful owing to its immense size. Yeah, 45 fucking strength. King Vendrick disappeared as of the war with the giants reached its ferocious peak, leaving his castle right off the edge of the fucking description there. Some swear that upon hearing the news, the queen's face remained as still as her portrait. So he, in the middle of the war with the giants, he just fucking left. Mm-hmm. And a barbed club. And that's from the Flexile Sentry. A club forged from the soul of the Flexile Sentry. Is that like 3 weapons there? Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 weapons. The spikes covering its length are as vile as the Sentry itself.
The rest is the same.
And the rest is the same. I didn't even I knew he had 2 weapons apiece. Actually, the one I mainly dealt with had 2. I thought it was 2 barbed swords, and the one on the back had 2 curved swords. Apparently not. Apparently one of them was carrying this fucker right here.
Yeah, no, it was... He had
What's
that
the
in
next
one
one?
hand, that in the other one, and then the other side of him had 2 of the barbed clubs in it.
Okay, gotcha. So they're both curved, but they're different swords. Okay. God, I was wondering what the heck was going on there. A Gargoyle Bident. A 2-pronged spear that imitates a weapon mentioned in an ancient text. I love the way he keeps shouting out Dark Souls 1 like that. Gargoyles are said to guard castles and forts from ill fortune, and they have appeared in many forms in all the great lands throughout history. Some of them are so meticulously crafted that they look as if they might come to life. Lame! Dragon Rider's Halberd. Halberd of the Dragon Riders. King Vendrick's Royal Guard. Oh. A highly versatile weapon that can slash, sweep, and thrust when wielded nimbly, and is also imbued with magic, so... What does that require? 8. Still requires 1 more strength than Dex. Fairly high requirements there. And it's... Wait. It scales with intelligence as well.
Yep.
Oh, now that is interesting.
It's imbued with magic.
Well, that's true. There was nothing... Well, I guess there was something magical about him. Demands great skill of its wielder, and thus serve to test the worthiness of those who aspire to join the Dragon Riders. Surprised there's not like an intelligence requirement.
Yeah, it does 90 magic damage, so...
I was like, yeah, sure enough. So that's a decently strong weapon. This is a good point, isn't it, to ask. It looked like to me when I went to the first blacksmith that whenever you crafted a weapon into anything other than its normal form, the damage was split between whatever element or status effect you chose and the original damage. There was always a split.
Right.
It seems to me that pretty much fucking everything in this game isn't as good as a maxed out normal weapon. It seems to be that it's not really that good because the status effect kind of takes away from the original impact.
And I mean, like, well, there are certain exceptions, but for the most part, that's true. Because when you're having to go with 2 different damage types, that means you're having to go through 2 of your enemy's defenses.
I was saying Dark Souls 1,
kind of
lightning and fire were pretty safe because
that's because
it just made your weapon stupid powerful.
That's because they didn't have those defenses for the most part. A lot of enemies didn't.
And most enemies didn't have defenses against one or the other, much less both. In this game, it doesn't seem that way at all.
Yeah, there are some that are very helpful in certain situations. Like, if you're fighting a dragon, a lightning weapon's good. Gotcha. Shit like that. But for the most part, physical is the way you want to go. Unless, like, you're using a like, you can infuse a catalyst with magic. Okay. You'd want to do that shit. Okay. Or, like,
magic sword.
Or, like, making a poison katana. The shit that I said I use in PvP. Yeah, that's helpful. But for the most part, you're right.
Okay.
Just straight physical is the way you want to go.
Okay, it did seem that way. And then the Roaring Halberd, the Skeleton Lord. Yeah, he had an interesting halberd. Powered and forged from the soul of a Skeleton Lord, imbued with the power of dark. The unsettling skull carved into this halberd recalls the final moments of the Skeleton Lord from whom it was created.
Look at those fucking requirements. 12, 12, 12, 12. Or 16, 12, 12, 12.
You know what's really sad? I could almost do that with my quality build. I could almost equip that fucking thing. Yeah. That's a little depressing. Oh well, I wanted to go with Cleric, and here I am. And again, last area with all the poison that I was dealing with actually really came in handy. Yeah. In that one part of the game, my Cleric build was possibly the very best build I could have had.
I mean, I don't know, like that's the thing. You could have very easily just used your poison moss.
I didn't have a lot of them.
When you go into a poison area, they give you poison moss. You can buy poison moss. Like, it's... You can go through that without a cleric character, obviously.
Obviously you can.
But, yeah.
It just made things a bit simpler. Having the extra heals and having the extra get rid of poison stuff.
Well, I mean, plus you have to keep in mind that, for people who don't suck, they don't really need those heals that much. So.
Oh, gotcha. That's how that works.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Gotcha. Bone.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh! Can I get with you in 12 minutes, brother? I'm in the middle of recording something.
Okay, no problem. I'll just put the panel here by the counter.
Oh, that works, man. Appreciate it.
Interruptions.
Yeah, he is one of my roommates, actually, at the moment. Good guy. Good guy.
Scared the piss out of me.
Well, when you hear someone walking into your home, it is like, wait, whoa, what?
Yeah.
The thing, it's so funny, because, like, where I live at the moment, I pretty much, obviously I don't have my own, well maybe it's not obvious, I don't have my own place. A lot of people end up living here, and so people come in and out all the time. For most people it'd be very unsettling for someone to like walk in. Like I'll literally be laying in my bed and hear the door open, and I just like go back to sleep. I'm that used to it. I'm that used to it where I live. It's a very different situation from most. Bone scythe forged from the soul of the covetous demon, so Jabba had a scythe.
Yes.
The curved spine of the covetous demon is as hard as rock, and rather than slicing through flesh, this weapon seems to grind it apart. That thing that ended up as a monstrous fiend, what was it to begin with? And why did it never leave the queen? Perhaps it was entranced by some perversion of love.
It's interesting. It requires disgusting. 20 dexterity, but it scales A with strength.
Well, maybe it's because it's the scythe.
Yeah. It's a solid weapon, though.
The yawns are real tonight. And it's a reaper class weapon. That's real. Was the Great Scythe also a Reaper class weapon?
Well, the Reaper class, but like Reaper is is basically just Scythe.
I'll say that is it has its own category in this game. That's
It
just
just
kind of
sounds
weird
cooler.
to me. Is that what it is? Is that all it is? It seems to be a little on the weak side, unfortunately. Oh well.
The scaling is helpful. So.
Oh, another lance. The Executioner's Chariot Soul. Chariot Lance. Lance forged from the soul of the Executioner's chariot. Its cross-shaped blade causes bleeding. The reverse design of this spear mirrors the chariot from which it came. A merciless creation that endlessly tortured the undead.
Yep.
Fucking love that boss.
That was a good boss.
Love that boss. Dragon Rider Twin Blade. Twin Blade of the Dragon Riders. King Ventrix Royal Guard.
Oh, he has 4 shits that his soul can turn into. Damn.
4.
Yeah. The halberd, the bow, this, and the shield.
I'll say the Dragon Rider Soul. Dragon Rider Soul. Dragon Rider Soul. Dragon Riders. Holy shit.
Solid, mate.
Holy fucking shit. Twin blades are wielded with an unusual technique. This one strikes hard, but is very heavy. Demands great skill of its wielder, and thus serve to test the outworthiness. Yes. Okay. And the Dragon Rider Bow.
Which, I'm telling you to get this shit.
Yeah.
It's good.
Bow wielded by the Dragon Riders, King Vendrix Royal Guard. Merely drawing this bow requires inhuman strength, but each shot has deadly potential. Demands great skill of its wielder, and blah. The Shield Crossbow. That's interesting. This comes from the Executioner's Chariot as well.
This one's cool.
So it's like we have 2 Executioner's Chariot things here. Crossbow created from the soul of the Executioner's Chariot. Iron plate serves as a shield while firing. The merciless chariot inflicted agony upon others with utter impunity, and the crossbow created from its soul strives to protect from possible retribution.
So we're gonna get one of those 2.
Okay.
Either the crossbow or the bow.
Okay.
I prefer the bow because it's faster and long and has a longer range.
Yeah.
The crossbow is good because it'll still serve most of your purposes, and its effect, it's basically the equivalent of holding up a shield while you're firing your crossbow.
Which is, that alone has some appeal to it.
Yeah.
That's not a horrible thing. In PvP, that'd be kind of a pain. And it's 100% defense, too, against physical.
Mm-hmm.
And not horrible in other regards. That would be damn useful in PvP. And very, very annoying for those who have to fight against it. Pursuer's Great Shield. Great Shield of the Pursuer. For those who can handle the weight of this shield, it offers resistance to curses. Oh, very specifically. Actually, it offers resistance to a lot of them status effects. The Pursuer hunts down those branded by the curse as if each undead soul that he cleanses will atone one of his sins. And finally, the Dragon Rider Great Shield. Great Shield of the Dragon Riders, King Vendrix Royal Guard. The rank of Dragon Rider was reserved for honorable warriors who helped found Drangleic. Together with the king, they crushed its former inhabitants and erected a magnificent kingdom upon their graves.
So this is what I would do.
There's a lot of shit here.
I would get either the crossbow and the Dragon Rider shield, or the Dragon Rider bow and the Pursuer shield, and then any others that you want. But I would get one of the bows and one of the shields.
Okay, and they both need to be split. Well, no, that's the Executioner's Chariot. That's the only thing that he sells.
Yeah.
I was wrong again. There are a lot of dual items in this game. How many times do you have to go through this game if you want one of every item? I mean, at least 4, apparently.
I think it's 4.
Is 4 the max?
I think 4 is the max.
Like, holy shit, that's a lot.
Well, I mean, Dark Souls 1 was 3.
It was 3, so yeah, it just...
Sif's soul.
Even 3 was a little bit much to me. I'm like, really, game? Really? But it's their game. Again, they can do whatever they fucking want. That's on them. The Pursuer's Ultra Great Sword, I want that shit. Even if I only use it like a few times, I really want that shit.
Okay.
And I saved up the souls to buy this shit anyway. So is there any reason to not buy all of them?
Well, I mean, like, personally what I would do is out of this list, I would choose the ones you want, consume the souls of the ones you don't. That's what I would do. Now, some of them offer a nice bit of souls, some of them don't.
Yeah.
Don't remember which ones are which.
Gotcha.
So we're going to be shooting for random shit when we do that.
Okay.
But that's what I would do. I'd pick the ones you want and then consume the souls of the ones you don't.
Okay.
So, and if you don't see a boss soul in this list,
yeah,
don't consume it because that means you can't use that boss soul until later.
Well, you said this is one of more than one,
One of a couple.
smith.
Yeah.
So the boss souls aren't just one blacksmith. Now they're spread out a little bit. So I'm actually, you know what? First I need to read Mytha's soul. I never read the soul, the little description there. So I need to do that before I buy anything here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back and do that.
Feeble cursed one.
I love this guy.
Let's hope the magnificence of my spells does not deter you.
So cool.
This guy. This
I'm
guy.
better than you.
Apparently he is.
And he is. He's right.
Oh, well, damn.
He's cool.
Where is Mytha? Soul of Mytha, the baneful queen who lives in the earthen peak. The queen sought the king's affection, even poisoning herself to attain beauty, despite the monstrous consequences. All for the compelling madness known as love. It's so weird. Like, why would you poison yourself to make yourself more appealing? That sounds so fucking crazy.
Well, very unusual.
All right, let us. I saved the souls to buy shit, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Alright,
buy
go for
shit.
it.
So,
I mean, I've done that occasionally. Just completionist in me has
Yeah.
forced me to buy everything.
yeah, I'm just like, even if I only get, it's weird because I don't plan on using a whole lot of weapons. I plan on just using one or two, just like in the first game. But at the same time, it's like, well, let's save the soul. Let's see what it does. Let's see what weapon we can get from it.
Yeah.
So, Pursuer's Greatsword, I want that shit.
There we go.
I'm getting that. So that shuts those two off. And you strongly recommend this particular one because bows just have a much longer range than a crossbow.
Well, I would say get the crossbow now so that you can still get the Dragon Rider shield. Personally.
Well, I already have a great shield. Is this just better then?
I mean, a lot of people like that shield.
Mm-hmm.
It's heavy as dicks. So
13.5 and damn.
I think
All their shit's heavy.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Do what you want.
I will inquire of this. I'm gaming for a paladin type character, so faith, chimes, and also badass weapons and armor.
So the great shield you have, the tower shield, it actually fits in rather well with your paladin build, especially because it has like a giant sun on the front of it.
Okay.
So even the aesthetic fits in well, and it's a solid fucking shield.
I'll say you said you've gone through or could have or you've done it in the past.
Regularly go through the game with that shield.
Oh, that's normal actually.
Yeah.
That's the one you use. Well, damn.
So if that's what you're going for with paladin, it ain't a bad choice.
I said just the one I already have is pretty damn solid. Cool. So let's say Mytha. Yes, Mytha only had the one there, I think. Soul of the Last Giant.
Yeah, because I think the other one she does is a spell.
Great. Some of these requirements are so crazy.
Yeah.
And the Flexile Sentry, the Barbed Club. Is that I was like that has to do some bleeding. Yep. So it's very weak, but it has that bleed damage to it. Again, it's kind of like why I'm choosing between stuff I'm not going to use. It's kind of dumb to begin with. But nonetheless, let's go with Mytha's thing here. I'm gonna buy that shit. Then out of the three,
I'd say the club because at least your character can use that one.
yeah, the hammer one there. That is very, very tempting, actually. I was thinking about getting that one.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, yeah, why not? What the hell? And the giant stone axe, one of its kind. The gargoyle bind. There was nothing else from the gargoyle thing, was there? Nah.
No.
And those are the only things that can be bought with that. And I'm not interested in either one of them.
Yep. So we can consume those souls.
Okay, so let's get the gargoyle biting. Let's get that thing going. And lots of Dragon Rider stuff. Okay, time to choose. There's a lot of shit.
The
there.
twin. All right. So let's see. Let's go over everything. His halberd. It's a solid fucking halberd.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't use it because of split. Well, honestly, all of his stuff has split damage.
All it does, yeah.
But it is a solid fucking halberd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a halberd person. A lot of
Gotcha.
people are. Some of the people that are love that fucking halberd.
Okay.
Twin blades. Twin blades are dope because their movesets are all cool as shit.
Okay.
But
it's a dex.
And are very hard to predict for PvP. Twin blades are
Okay.
really good PvP because they're hard to read.
Okay.
The bow is a solid fucking bow. Just not much more to it. It's a good bow. It's a strength bow. It does magic damage, but it scales B with strength.
Yeah, which is good.
Which is solid. Great. And the shield is a solid fucking shield.
The shield is also really fucking good.
And note, look at the Pursuer's Great Shield. Alright, they both have the same stability as the Tower Shield.
They're all 3
They're all 3 or 70. What's the stability on the crossbow thing?
Stability?
Go over again.
Oh, that one.
30. I think your Drangleic shield is 45. Or is it 50? No, it's 55.
That's already better than that.
So.
Let's go with the bow this time.
Okay.
Let's go with the crossbow. Why not? Why the fuck not? And let's buy more shit. Why? Because I fucking can.
At the very least, we should look at the movesets of these, because they're cool.
Executioners. Oh, damn, it's like 20 minutes already. Well, guys, I'll make my last decision in the next video. Again, lots of lore, lots of reading, lots of dialogue. How much fun is this? Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you disliked it, hit that dislike button. If you really liked it, be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and join the freaks! I'm thoroughly enjoying all this lore. This is some cool shit. So, love you guys. God bless.